Alrighty guys, so I just got back from Goodwill and I have not one, not two, but three machines to show you guys today. All have Windows Vista stickers, all are Core 2 Duo based. All of them have between 2 and 4 gigs of RAM, and as far as I know for a fact that one there, they all work. So let's dive in and I'll tell you how I got these things. Now, generally Goodwills do not sell computers. You won't find many that do, or they will reluctantly. But it just so happens that I live 2 miles away from a drop-off center. So basically a really big Goodwill that can get all sorts of electronics, and they could sell everything. And they do so very cheaply. Now, yesterday I went to the Goodwill, and I'm not actually keeping this machine. This machine is for a family member that needs a PC, and he's on a disability budget. So I figured I'd go up there, see if I can get something that's better than the junk heap that I was throwing together from scrap parts. Now, this one I paid $10 for, and it works just fine. Scrubbed it down with a paper towel, wet paper towel, and what you see is what it is. Now, these computers, as far as I could tell, came from refurbishing companies, because they all have these stickers on them, or something like these stickers, and these are either refurbishing or repairing centers. So, yep. Now, let me sit down here, and we'll go over this one first. And I'm going to need a screwdriver, which I don't have, so let's go grab one. Do I have one? Here's the Windows 98 PC. I've been working on that. That'll be in a video soon. Here's one. Alright. Now, the other two machines I literally just walked through the door with. I haven't dusted them, haven't plugged them in, but just by looking at them, there's nothing visibly wrong, which was the same case with this one. So I have no doubts they're going to work. But let's go ahead and crack this one open first. And of course, the day I decided to open it up, the day before, I actually screwed on the side panel because I didn't have any thumb screws that fit. But this is the back of the PC. Has a high-pro 300-watt power supply that is in relatively decent condition. I opened it up and don't see any like super bloated capacitors, nothing leaking, and it's not making any funny noises, and it's nice and quiet. So let's get the screw out of here. Screw number 1. Now I believe, like I said, this one might have come from my house, but those two kind of seem like they're business machines. They have business like refurbishing things on them, so maybe they were just refurbished by the same business. But yeah, none of them came with hard drives for confidentiality reasons. But this one came just as you see it. 4 gigs of DDR2 megahertz RAM. Came with the SATA cables. I threw in a 60 gig laptop hard drive. It's got Linux Mint 17 on it. They all have PCI Express slots that could be upgraded if needed or wanted. Inside, they do have a relatively nice multi-layer DVD burner, and it's a DVD burner and compact disc writable combo. That's cool. Under here, if this was the higher end model, there would be a card reader and whatnot there, but we have USB 2.0, 2 ports there, mic and headphone jacks, which I have tested and they work. And then there's also two USB 2.0 up there, which also work. And I'm going to be super nice, and not only that, but nobody uses it nowadays. So, if you want a Windows Vista Home Premium CD key, if the camera will focus on it, and you could read it, have at it. Same with this machine. But this camera doesn't focus. Doesn't seem to have like a very good autofocus. It sucks ass. But yeah, so that's this particular machine. As you can see, it's got a Core 2 Duo E7400 at 2.8 gigahertz. It can take up to the Core 2 Quad Extreme Editions. You know, the 3 gigahertz quad cores, that sort of thing. I might, with one of these, try the LG A771 mod and throw in a Xeon 8 gigs of RAM and a 750 Ti as a video, because I know the power supply, at least in this one, should be able to run 750 Ti just fine. Oh, here is another Vista key. I thought one of these, yeah, this is Vista Business. So if you want Windows Vista Business Edition, that's that. But let's get the side panel back on this one and check out the other ones. Now, I was very surprised that these were coming with 4 gigs of RAM. Usually, I gotta set the camera down for a second. Usually, when you see these systems, especially at Goodwill, they are entirely stripped out. And you're lucky if they have, you know, the main board and the CPU and that functions. Now, we'll take a look at this Dell. This Dell, as you can see, Windows Vista Core 2 Duo. It's also got, it's not, well, actually, is it the same drive? Yeah, it is the same drive. It's a DVD-ROM writable, compact disc writable, and this is what I'm going to keep this one, because of this right here. You have 4 USB 2 ports, 4 USB 2.0 ports up front. There is a 1394 port there, but it's covered up, so I guess that was a higher end model. The card reader can take SD and mini cards, TF card readers, XD, SM, and Pro Duos and whatnot. So that is nice to have, because this camera that I'm currently filming with, I don't have the USB cable that goes to it, and it does not link to the PC through USB. So I need something like this, because the only way to get the footage off of here is to use the PC that is in the computer room on the side there, or the laptop in my bedroom. And that's kind of a pain in the ass. So if I could just run this 24/7 on a different monitor, and if it gets upgraded to the Core 2 Quad, since this is 640p footage, or 480p footage, I might just use this to edit this footage and throw one of my 120 gig SSDs in there for now. But on the inside, again, 4 gigs, 4 1 gig sticks, DDR2 667. This one has the 300 watt Bestech power supply. I'm not the biggest fan of Bestech power supplies. At least not the 25012E. The 25012E was known for blowing up and taking out the main board. All the other ones were decent quality supplies, so I'm not too worried about that. I haven't even done anything to the system. I haven't dusted it or anything. It's not very dirty, which makes me believe this system was lightly used either in a home or a business environment. It does have a dual-link dial-up modem down there, but it's got the same, I think, 5.1 surround sound. This audio quality coming out of this one, this Dell's audio quality sounds better than the quality of my H55M board that runs my i7-860 right now. The onboard is better quality on this than on that. So if this audio is just as good, I'll be very pleased with that. I might actually use it with, or just as an audio music box PC, whatever, because that's nice. So yeah, this says $10, but this PC was $5 because it just so happens that today that I went, everything there was half off. It was technically $5.30 with tax. But that is pretty much it for this PC. Like I said, no hard drives, sadly. I wish they did come. They included the screws, I think. There's one down there. I don't see any missing motherboard screws, so must have went to the hard drives. I'm going to put down the camera again and put this side panel back on. The only damage, there is damage, and I kind of sort of fixed it. Sort of. Well, for one, as you can see, this is missing the front cover here, but the button still works fine. But this had a dent right here, and it was barely pushed in, but I took it and I just flexed it out, and now it's fairly straight. I don't know if you could see that. You know, it's mostly fixed. I mean, you can't have it all for $5. Now we get to this one. I actually don't know what CPU is in that one either. I haven't plugged it in or anything. But since this was an E7400, this is a Dell Inspiron 518. This is an Inspiron 530. So I don't know if that's actually a higher up model than this one. I'm assuming so, but this one looks older to me. I'm assuming it's going to be around an E7400, maybe a higher clocked or lower clocked one. Man, those clouds are freaking dark. It is so going to rain today. I swear to God, I don't have ADHD. Or ADD. Whatever the hell that one is that causes you to get distracted all the time. So now we have this one. And I honestly don't know what brand it is. But if you could see that, this says Computer Networking Services Incorporated, so I'm guessing this came from a business. And then on this side, it says Vectrex PC, Smart IT Services. It's got the serial number. This also says $10, but it was $5. This one is a bit more basic. Standard DVD-ROM drive, compact disc writable. So it is not a DVD burner. And that would hint as to why it was probably most definitely a Windows Vista Business Edition. It says Windows Vista Business with DVD pack Nobilis or something like that. Can't quite read it. But this looks like it was most definitely a corporate machine. And then on the back here, says Nobilis 5, I'm guessing 2008, so yeah, back in 2008. And it's actually kind of labeled as far as what the ports are for. This one's got the nicest power supply out of all of them. Inside, I wonder how many people are making seasick. I got a comment on one of my videos that my camera work, well, he didn't say it exactly like this, my camera work is basically ass, which I do agree, it is not great. This camera doesn't have image stabilization, doesn't have any of that. It's an old Nikon, so bear with me on that. But the power supply is a Sparkle Power SPI Incorporated 300 watt. Now I have the older version of this. It says with noise killer, and that would be because instead of two fans or one 120 or 180 millimeter fan, it uses the big 120 millimeter fan on the bottom. I have the older version of this in my bedroom. It's also a 300 watt, and it's great. It's got thermal control. It's got the smaller fans in back, but it's got thermal control and everything. It's nice and heavy and solid. So I have no doubt that this one would run a 750 Ti, even one that required a 6-pin adapter. I just put I have one. Just link one of those on there. But being a corporate machine, this board is more basic. Still has the PCI Express X16 slot, but once again, no hard drives. And this one only has 2 gigs of RAM. Only has 2 slots, so I'm guessing you could take up to 8 gigs. But what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to take the best of these machines. I'm going to leave that one as it is because I've already decided to give that one to a friend, family friend. I'm going to take the best of these 2 machines and put them together. So it'll be this power supply in that system, because 2 gigs of RAM just isn't enough. So yeah, I'll probably do the boot up and everything in a secondary video, because this video is getting kind of long and I only have about 8 minutes left to record on my camera. It looks like there was a graphics card in this, because the slot cover's missing and there's no screw in it. So it looks like they did have, in fact, have a graphics card in this at some point in time. But yeah. So that's all there is for these machines. Hope you enjoyed the video, and there will be more to come. So stay tuned. Talk to you later, guys.